Are we doing it now?
Yeah, this was your idea.
I'm the trainer's trainer, the strength and conditioning coach. Luke is group exercise and business, and you're the DEI woman.
And I know you're in LA now, and Gunnar was in LA for 100 years. But here's what.
Did you know this was happening?
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that.
I did. It's on your entire breakdown, and it says segment 2, call-ins.
There's a breakdown?
Oh, come on.
I
Wait till the tequila comes.
Oh,
Yeah.
can't wait.
Welcome to the Kids Table, where the conversation is about fitness, but the maturity level is questionable. 3 industry leaders that still love what they do.
The one and only Gunnar Peterson, legendary trainer and athlete whisperer with over 35 years of top-of-the-field experience, the true fitness GOAT, and also holds the title for the biggest smartass on earth.
Then you've got Luke Milton, our favorite Australian import, former professional rugby player and a group exercise and business expert. Now you've seen him on Khloe Kardashian's Revenge Body and is known for his perfect combination of humor and genius. And then there's me. Actually, this is kind of weird. G!
I'm right here. Weird if you do your own intro. All right, you guys know Jen. She's an entrepreneur, world-class trainer, author, wellness mastermind. You may recognize her from The Biggest Loser. She's a trainer. She's the woman aging in reverse and keeping us in line. Ladies and gentlemen, Jen Widerstrom.
So pull up a chair as we talk fitness, the business of fitness, and give a voice to trainers everywhere.
It's informative, it's inspiring, it's where everybody wants to be. This is the Kids Table. Today's episode is powered by Yeti and Train Heroic, the go-to platform for the go-to coaches and trainers. Well, we have a new podcast starting, if you guys haven't noticed. Over here is
Gunnar Peterson.
I'm Jen Widerstrom.
And I'm Luke Milton.
And the name of our podcast is
Lift this,
Jen's
lift
got
this.
Oh.
Oh.
Everybody throw out 3 potential names. Why not?
Oh God. I'm not good at that game.
Oh, fuck, I excel.
Okay. Go.
No.
You do 3 names.
No, go. Whatever.
All right,
Do
we've got
one.
Jen and the other guys.
Balls deep.
Safe space fitness.
Yawn.
Drink this, not that.
Drink this, not that. Ooh, drink this, not that. Maybe put a pin in that. I'm still like dead at 30, but
The young old guys.
dead at
sorry.
30. Drink this, not that. Go dead at 30. I don't know. I just think people, once they hit 30, they start to check out, whether it's their health, whether it's their own creativity and their growth.
Lift this, drink this.
I'm not 30 yet, though, so I can't really add in.
Oh, Lukey.
Stuff it, guys. Stuff it.
By the way, let's just put a vote on it. Who's getting any face work done? I'm not saying surgery, but is it going to be Gunnar or is it going to be Luke first? Or has
I
Gunnar
think I'd get my Australian passport taken off me.
I think Gunnar.
Yeah?
I'm not getting anything done.
Not
Yeah.
kidding. During the pandemic, there was like a couple months where like Gunnar like tightened it up. He didn't drink. He was like taking naps every day.
I went to Qatar.
Yeah.
I worked in Qatar.
You allowed to talk about it? Okay.
I worked in Qatar for 40 days, and no desserts, no alcohol, 8 hours of sleep, fitness regimen on point, stress levels down.
Boring.
And
It was wild.
gets back in town, and the buzz around LA.
The buzz around LA.
Not fucking kidding.
In Jen's
They-
house.
I was living in your backyard. I'll have you
Sorry.
remember. So it was in your house, good sir. Everybody thought he had a facelift. Everyone's like, oh shit, he got his face done. It was like he finally went for it.
I've never done Botox. You think I'm going from no Botox to facelift?
What happened to your face, Gunnar?
What's that?
That's what a good diet, sleep, no stress, and no alcohol did. He just like he
glowed up?
Yeah, he glowed. It was his glow up. Weird how wellness works. He just like really got
Crazy.
I
Wait,
know.
So you did everything really healthy. Oh, okay.
And then when everything went back to shit, everyone's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't do anything.
I think ultimately, I'd rather spend the next 5 minutes talking about the essence of why this started and what it's for. Gunnar, this was your idea. You brought this up.
I brought it up because I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm working out in the morning, right? I work out alone. Sometimes Colin, my other trainer's there, but I listen to stuff and I it's funny, I joke about people getting their fitness degrees from Instagram University, and I think there are a lot of people who go like podcast university and they walk out thinking they're an expert on something. I don't think I'm an expert on anything, but I definitely think it's provoked thoughts that I hadn't had before, didn't know I have. I've taken deeper dives on stuff because I've heard them on podcasts. I keep these side notes. I'm so OCD about it of I watch no TV, so I should watch this show. I should listen to this movie. I should listen to this podcast. I should read this book. And I go, and they stack up faster than I can catch up. But I'm learning more, even about some people, who they are. Like even to pop culture, there are people I had no idea were out there, and I'll look them up and I'll go, there's 10 million people who follow this person. Holy shit, where have I been?
Yeah.
And I don't want to think I live under a rock, but maybe I do. And I think that I'm getting all this information from these great podcasts from people who I knew or those I didn't know. And I thought, God, I know I could share if I had a broader reach. I just see people one-on-one all day, right? And then I go home and my family definitely didn't want to hear about my work stuff. And then I thought, who else could I do it with? And you guys were coming out here to visit, which was awesome. And I thought, that's who I could do it with. Because you have, Luke, the pro athlete background. You have the franchising a successful business model background. You have the busy home life. How do you find balance? You stay in shape. Then I thought, Jen's been doing this forever. You're timeless. You're not aging. Like, people wouldn't know the stuff you did so far back in the day. 2 different TV things plus a million other one-off TV things, and the people, the high level people you train with and travel with. And I thought, God, that's a good pairing, right? It's not a pairing because it's not 2, but my point is, it's a good group that all bring different things to the table. And when I threw it at you guys, I sort of threw it out like, what if? And you guys are like, yep, we're in, let's go. And then I don't think it's been 3 weeks and you guys are back and cool, let's go, let's rock it and see. But I do like that it's a forum open to other trainers to ask a question, because I go back and, for me, when I started this, I would have had to write like long form letters in cursive to people to get an answer. And now people can just call in. Easy. Send a DM, send a message. So
when you brought this up to us, it wasn't even a thought. It was a understanding that if I were the gift that you have been in my life, just as a friend and then as a mentor and someone that's become this peer for me, you've opened your world, your mind, your ideas, your network to me. And I feel like it's been such a treat to stand on the shoulders of the life that you've built and the relationship that you've built. And I feel that, honestly, when you brought it up, I'm like, man, I know what it's done for me and the way I've soared through our relationship. And also to know that you've been such a gracious friend, and that like you want to know my opinion. You have had speaking engagements that you brought me into. You care what I think. You respect my ideas. And what started as mentor-mentee became this kind of like really cool opportunity, but all, again, standing on the shoulders of a massive career that you've built. And so I thought, man, if anybody had even 10%, 2% of what I've had from you, I want to be a part of bringing what you have to say and what I've also built now in my time, and to give it to anybody that's willing to listen. Like, it's just exceptional. The conversations that we have been life-changing for me. And then it's like, and then as we steer to my left here with Luke, it's like, it's been the same way. It was so funny. You sent me a message. It was a screenshot of an Instagram post you had made how many years ago?
Oh my gosh, that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
At least it had to be pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
5 years
it was longer,
ago, more.
Yeah.
And 6 years ago, it had me then. And then, and it was so crazy because Luke was like, oh my gosh. And he did like the cry face emoji. And I thought, I never even saw that post.
Yeah.
I never even saw you post it. So I scrolled back in time and I found it in what you had written about me. And since then, like Luke and I have this, we're both like group fitness, like hearts. And to find that there is so much depth in these relationships, with these 2 men that I've met, it's like there's no greater way to pursue a connection with the kind of, I think, greater community of wellness, but also anybody that just wants to keep pushing their own personal boundaries of growth. Like these are the 2 men that I go to the most. These are the 2 people that I go to the most, male or female, I should say. And why not share this with everybody? That was why it was just a click in for me.
Oh, it's no doubt at all. And I think, I think just being able to expose anyone else to the conversations that we have in private, right? And like whether it's at your house, Gunsy, like we're sitting around, whether it was in LA or now, out in Tennessee, like just sitting around and like being able to actually put a lens on that. If I'd had that at the start of my career, I would have given anything for it, But you didn't, right? You had I started my career in a bodybuilding gym and I worked the front desk for free and I learned off this guy called Mick Chapman who had probably forgotten more than I learned, but you didn't have that. So my goal of all of this is to actually expose the industry for what it is and take away interpretation. I think interpretation in this industry specifically is one of the most dangerous things that we can come up with, because we think that someone has this perfect life. We think that someone has boiled chicken and boiled broccoli and doesn't do this and doesn't do that. And I just really want to bring this community together and continue to learn as myself selfishly. The amount of education that I get every time we just catch up casually, not as a deliberate point. And if we can sort of expose that out to anyone, and like anyone listening to this, anything you want to know, just break it down. We are all very aware of who we are, what lanes we are. And also, if anyone's got anything to teach us, shout it out, there's no absolute hill here. We're all have done what we've done and we learn off each other a lot.
But the other thing, two other things. One, I think we're all mature enough that if we don't know it, we're not going to bullshit it.
Secure enough, maybe.
Right. Okay, maybe, yeah. And the other part is, I think we're coming at it from a good place, not a bad place. I don't think we're looking to kebab anybody.
We have the best jobs on the planet. We love what we do, and I think any chance we have a way to really rally behind what trainers are doing, and that's why I keep saying yes, trainers, yes, wellness, but anybody that's driving towards something that they're really excited about, these are the conversations you need to be a part of. And I mean, we haven't even scratched the surface.
And also, there's so many out there that are doing it on their own.
Right.
Oh my God.
I'm great. Yes. That's so cool that you stay up late and you take the deep dives. Look, there wasn't internet when I started this. It was books, dude.
Yeah.
That's just that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't audiobooks, right? It was, you had to read.
Yeah.
And you had to get stuck into it. And then came cassette tapes. And I can't tell you how many of those I listened to.
Yeah. That's
what's his name?
cool.
William Kramer from Ball State University. I listened to all those tapes studying for my CSCS 8 years ago. And I'd listen to them in the car and rewind, play again, and hope the tape doesn't break. And, you take it out of there, put it in the portable. But I think that's great that those people are doing that individual research and then putting it into practice. But also, they can come back and talk to somebody about it. You don't have to worry about somebody poaching your client. You don't have to worry about somebody outing you and telling the world that you suck. It's a safe space. I mean that. This is a safe space for
100%.
trainers.
And mate, how excited were you to wake up this morning?
Yeah, every day. But I'm the same. I wake up and I've tried to teach my 9-year-old that who's he is not a morning guy yet. But I said, dude, you got to I wake up every day and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
I have that guy today. Oh, I have that woman today. Here we go.
Same.
Let's go. And I know that I've done my programming the night before. I'm so fired up to unleash what I programmed for them because I know it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to get results. I just believe in it like that.
Yeah. Well, this is a result to me, just hanging out with my mates, shooting the shit and having a conversation about an industry that is, sometimes misinterpreted and sometimes misunderstood. And I think that, I woke up this morning so excited to jump on that plane and come in and see you guys. I think this is just going to be a real treat. And it's a real blessing to be a part of.
Yeah. We'll start repping these and it'll be, we'll get some great stuff.
Yeah.
So
Did she tell you Jarrell's going to call in with
I haven't told. I just said
Who's calling in?
We have some callers.
Who is it?
Jarrell. What's his name?
Oh, I know him. Yeah, from Nashville Fit.
Yeah.
Great.
But
Jarrell, hi. You're on the pod.
He did the Q&A for the Nashville Fit magazine we did.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Yes,
cool.
I did.
wait, is that the one you're in the cover of?
Yeah.
Gunner's like, I'll do it if I'm on the cover.
Right. That's pretty much how it went. No, I'm just kidding.
By the way, this makes you qualifies you as longtime fan of Gunner, first time caller, huh?
Yeah, definitely long-time fan, first-time caller.
Amazing. And then Luke Milton's sitting here too, and I'm Jen. We haven't
Hey,
met
Jarrell,
yet.
how are you, dude?
I met you guys via Instagram earlier. You guys didn't meet me yet though, but yeah.
Oh,
I stalked your Instagram earlier.
tell me. Okay, give me one word to describe how you feel about Luke now.
Just one.
Okay,
he's a badass, man.
Badass.
Badass.
Thanks, Joel. I appreciate it, man. I've
So
been
you're
called a
saying
lot worse.
you're saying he should squat more, huh? He's got a bad ass.
Well, I've never said that at all. See, Jen, you're the instigator. I see who you are on the podcast.
There's Jen's.
Most of us lose it on text, but Jen, it's just a hearing thing.
Yeah.
This is a safe space for trainers. We want to create.
But truly.
This is what we want. This is like a halfway house for trainers. When you're when you're coming out of a bad experience at a big box gym and you're looking to do your own thing somewhere, we're the safe place, and we can help you get on your feet.
When Luke and I were here a handful of months ago, you had like a little Saturday trainer hang lift workout, and I'm looking at Gunnar saying this, and we didn't like work out at all. We ended up just talking and answering questions. And I feel like there are so many years that in the training business, I was kind of figuring things out on my own, especially until I met you, Gunnar. And so it's more, that's what we call it, the safe space. But like, we really want to be a resource for people that aren't just training to train, that want this as their career, that love it as a profession. And
we also bring different things to the table. Like I'm the trainer's trainer, the strength and conditioning coach. Luke is group exercise and business, and you're the DEI woman. So.
I think I got off really light there. I was like, what's his description going to be?
So here's my question for all three of you. Jen, I know you're in LA now, and Gunnar was in LA for 100 years. But here's my question: with LA and the fitness industry being like very pretentious, it's all a facade a lot of the times. And, you know, Gunnar and I have very similar personalities, and the fact that we're both HR nightmares. Gunnar, how do you remain your authentic self with all of that going on around you guys?
Always
That's
similar
my
personalities means we're both assholes.
Yes.
I think you got to know who you are and where you come from. I don't know how you stay on track, but I stay on track because if I didn't, my family would check me. Whether that's my brother, my mom, who's not here anymore, but I feel her presence all the time. My wife and my kids would definitely say, "Dad, that's corny. Dad, who have you become? Dad, you're acting weird." If I did anything other than be myself. So I know that I have those guardrails up all the time.
Yeah, and loading up on that, like, I mean, you know, I'll speak for you as well. Like, Gunnar's built a whole career, I think all of us have, on authenticity. So, you know, like, there's no more attractive sort of nature than authenticity. So whoever you are, whether you're, you know, the most serious person in the world, like just a big dick, whatever, like, just go for it. Just be yourself and be authentic, you know? Yeah,
I feel like I realized this when I started group training back in like 2009 and 10. I realized that people would come and fill my class because they wanted what I did. And when you start to deviate, you're like, well, Luke does it this way. The moment you change what you're doing, people stop coming for that because they're coming for you. And it's really exciting when you realize by being exactly who you are, by picking the music that you pick or making the corrections or even the kind of workout flow that people are wanting you, it really instills a lot of confidence to keep leaning into your lane because you're uniquely that person.
Here's a time machine moment.
Yeah.
There was one guy who I could speak to who you know also, who I think was able to ride a bunch of different waves and did it with a lot of authenticity, which was Bob Harper. And Bob Harper is a Tennessee guy. And I knew Bob, I met him the day he came out to LA, worked at Martin Henry Fitness Studio. He subbed taught a step class for Kathy Kaler, another time machine, great girl, great lady. I mean, I've known Kathy forever. And Kathy was teaching sold out classes, packed with anybody and everybody in the classes. And Bob started subbing for her. And then Bob went from step classes to boot camps to these things. He called one Athletic Grooves, I remember. He put a ton of choreography in it. And then Bob was teaching spinning when that started to rise. Then Bob was back on yoga when that came back. And he's always managed to do those different disciplines, but he's authentic about it because he immerses himself in it. And then he goes from trainer on Biggest Loser, your show also, to host of Biggest Loser. So I don't think being authentic means not changing. I think you can evolve, but I think some people try to jump the gun on that, and that proves to be inauthentic.
Yeah, but I will say, I did in my time when I was kind of learning to become a better trainer, when I was, definitely switching from group fitness to privates, it's like, I borrowed techniques and ideas from people that I respected, because I'm like, okay, I'm not quite sure what my template is or what this looks like yet. So I'm like, when I had like, one of the best things I did as a younger trainer was I took a lot of classes. I went to a spin class. I would go to a step class. I would go to a yoga or like a Pilates studio. Every time Luke and I went to a training mate class. What's the kid's name? Zach?
Yeah, Zach. Yeah,
I learned stuff from this kid. He's a newer trainer, but like I learned from watching him and the words he used. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to try that. Or looking at combinations together. Like I was spying at Gunnar in the gym today. I was like, oh, I never thought about putting those together. So I think there's something to be said about like kind of borrowing those qualities or ideas from people you respect, and then start to kind of quilt your own template.
But that's the beauty and the uniqueness of the fitness industry, right? In so many other industries, it's criminal, but in the fitness industry, it's learning and it's evolving. It's like, I can't tell you how many times I've walked into Common Ground and been like, that is a cool way to do that exercise. And even those bells that we used last time, the way we could curl them, and I'm like, I'm definitely... Now that I've learned this, I'm going to implement them into our programs, or working out with you however many times. You're like, hey, no, Luke, drop your ass down, Luke, drop your ass down. Jen, like the physiological perfect, sort of person. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like now I've learned how to do that. Now I can implement them into ours. And I think that the beauty of the fitness industry is that we learn off each other. I don't necessarily ever think that we borrow things off or steal off. I think we just all learn. And the more sort of, generous you can be with knowledge, experience, or specificity, or like your actual abilities, then the industry as a whole gets better. And that's why I think that's what the fitness industry does so well. We learn off each other, and we don't consider it theft.
That's funny, because I knew a kid who used to call it a business of poaching. And I go, but that puts such a negative spin on it. How about it's a business of evolution?
Yeah.
And it's your programming is evolving as the people's physiques are evolving, as the people's draw to exercise is evolving, as their overall applications of health and fitness, they make different choices outside the gym. Now the whole thing is evolving and growing. It's not poaching. Poaching to me makes it negative. But
100%. And think about how many things have evolved off having that little spiciness to it, right? Like Soul Cycle, for instance, like off the old Johnny G sort of spin stuff. But if it had stayed back then, it would have stayed back then. And things have to evolve. And we can put, nicer brands on things, and we can put bells and whistles on things. It might be the same modality, but we can learn how to do it. It's kind of like McDonald's didn't invent the hamburger, right? They just invented a better way to sell it, or that sort of thing. And I think that that's what kind of fitness is. Fitness, better, different, whatever. It's always evolving.
You also can't expect everybody to like the fitness that you're serving
100%.
Or the burger that you're serving, right? Like,
it's a great point.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Can I cut in there? Because you told me this. This is a huge part. I remember you came to Training Mate the first time. We didn't even know each other that well. We're doing a promo for the show, for Revenge Body. And you said to me, you goes, this is cool. You should. Two things I remember you said. You said, you got to put those wall ball things up out the back, because we've got this cool thing in our West Hollywood studio. Yeah. Didn't do that. But no, but you said, one of the things I've always stuck with you, goes, you're going to have to get really comfortable with this not being for everyone. And I never actually forgot you saying that. And it's so true. Like, it didn't make sense to me for probably another year or two. But then when it started to become popular and we had more people coming into Training Mate, there's obviously like, a lot of people liked it, but there were people that didn't like it. And it was actually going back to what you were saying, and, being you and you saying it had a bit more of a in-depth sort of approach on me. And that's when I started to be really comfortable with it. It might not be for someone else. You want to lift super heavy? Go next door. You want to do something else? Go there. It's fine.
I've said this before, but it's funny. In the beginning, when I started doing this, when I would get people who were training with me, if I felt pushback or disinterest, I used to accelerate, right? That would make me want to go hard in the paint, and I'd want to make that person fall in love with the training, fall in love with me, and really bring them around, right? I don't do that anymore. I take my own advice, whatever it is, and I think maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this I'm not for them. Maybe she's not the person for me. He's not the person for me. And I'll see where it goes, and I'll see if it drifts away naturally, or if they keep pushing to come back. Then I go, okay, maybe the attitude I'm getting in the workout is not reflective of the interest they have. They just don't know how to show it. And then if they do stay away, maybe I push them downstream to somebody else because that's a better fit. Maybe we just don't have a fit as people. It's not them how they fit with the exercise.
Yeah. Gerald, what are you? Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask how long did it take you guys to really come to grips with that? I always say, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's because I'm coffee. And so it's one of those
that
things.
was good, Gerald.
But it's one of those things where, like, especially in the training industry, like, if you get a client and it doesn't work, whether it's personality, whether it's workout, whether they just want something different, and they, we've all probably shared clients, like, they go from me to Gunnar to James. Like, what is it about me that they didn't? So you start to internalize that. How long did it take you guys to kind of come to grips with? But it's not me. I'm just not for everybody.
Well, you first, and Gunnar taught me this. I'm going to make him tell you personally, but there's that mistress syndrome that you have to be really careful.
100%.
Yeah, you can tell it because basically, like, in the past I've like covered someone's client because they're out of town, so I'm like, yeah, I'll got your back, and they're like, I want to train with you instead.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you're like, and that's mistress. And so Gunnar taught me this. He's like,
yeah, I used to call it the mistress syndrome. They'd say, oh my God, I like you. This is so much better than what I've been getting. I go, no, it's not. This is new. This is like, this is first kiss shit. This is new. Yeah. No, it's not better. And you have to push that away. But what happens is when the person you're covering for, and this I'm speaking from experience, I covered for a guy who went out of town. I had his 2 people, his 6 a.m. and his 7 a.m. 3 times a week. At the end of the first week, they go, we want to train with you. I go, no, you don't. No, you don't. You won't, that guy. The guy came back. He was back for a week, and then they would look across the gym at me with like these yearning eyes. And it was funny because they were both great guys. They eventually became super good friends and pivotal role models for me on a certain level. And then the guy, the trainer, 2 weeks later took another vacation for 2 weeks. And they both came back to me and they go, that's it. We're done with him. We want to train with you. And the one guy literally wrote him a handwritten letter and mailed it to the trainer. And the second guy goes, I guess I got to write a letter too.
Yeah.
And they both literally broke up with the trainer that way to train with me. So I don't think that was necessarily my training. I think it was that I was more reliable.
Yeah, but that's an important quality if you're going to trust someone with your, like, this kind of...
You can't pitch to your people that they have to be consistent in workouts, but then you're not reliable for them to be consistent with. That doesn't match up.
I will answer your question, though, directly about, like, what happens if people, like, if it's not for you. Like, I feel like they're, even in LA where everybody I feel like has a personal trainer, there is a scarcity mindset. You're like, I have to get this client, I have to get more, and one client makes a big difference in your monthly payout. Yeah. And I think if you have the heart of a trainer, then you have a heart of service and empathy. And that means that you want that person to be with the best fit. And if you're faking the fit because you want the money, you've already lost the integrity of the relationship. So for me, I'm like, this is what I do, and I will take you as far as I can. And if I'm not that person, even if it's past, in Gunnar's words, the first kiss, then I will find you someone that will get you what you need. And that could be a personality thing. That could be a system of training. And a lot of times I'll tell you what, I'll have somebody that wants to work with me 4 days a week. And I'm like, you can't. I need you at once with Pilates. I need you to, go to Pilates, go see my girl here, get to Training Mate for a class. They need to be with people. They need to build confidence on their own. And then you can see me twice. And then we'll talk about a third session. So I do like to build a team for someone. And ideally, if I'm doing my job, they always graduate from Team Jen. They got to move on anyways.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah,
totally valid.
We've stolen you for like 15 minutes. You're
good.
Okay. Oh, this is so good to meet you, man. And
you too.
We'll
connect next time you guys are all in Nashville.
Yeah, we'll be back again filming.
When they're back, you should come by the gym and we'll do some curls.
That's what's going to happen.
I'm there.
Only curls, and then we'll stalk you on Instagram in the meantime.
You got it. I'll see you guys soon.
See you, mate.
Did you see that guy when you did the curl video? Did you see I did a comment and then some guy clapped back at me?
Clap back?
No.
So Jen did a video about curls, and I wrote back any kind of curl, anytime or something, because I always goof about curls, right?
Yeah.
And somebody wrote, "That's a great way to get hurt, Gunnar," or something like that. And I wanted to go, dude. I make the joke about curl. I do a series.
Wait,
on
what
Instagram.
was your comment? What video?
I think I wrote something like "any curl, anytime."
Oh yeah.
And the guy wrote back at me like, "And that's a good way to get hurt in the gym." And I was like, "Dickhead."
This is the point.
I do a series called DB Curls Around the World. Do you think when I go into all those gyms that I review and gas up, I'm just doing curls? You're a moron.
No, but this is the point, and this is the problem with the keyboard experts, right? Like it is. It's like I remember doing a Lululemon campaign or something like that, and I was running, and the photo is like my foot was turned the wrong way, and I had this genius being like, "That is physiologically the wrong thing to do." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, mate. I like, but
you should
what
have
do
sent a
think
picture
you're getting
back
out of
with
this?
your foot wrapped in an ace bandage. Going, thanks for that.
Yeah, no, but it's the whole thing, right? Then you're like, and again, this is probably before you told me not to care about what people think about you, so I did care. I'm like, who's this guy? This is ridiculous. Like, dude, I've like played professional sports. He's commenting on my ankle positioning and my sprinting form. What a loser. And then I Google, like I click on his link on he's got like 3 followers and a lost dog. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is in the basement of his mum's house, like just like permanent comb over, like just sitting there like scrolling through this stuff. But I'm like, that's what happens if you let people's opinion affect what you do.
I didn't even respond to it. I just
job.
thought, guy, you don't know the backstory of why my comment is funny.
Anything. But this is fitness in general. Like there's so much detail and there's so much backstory that goes into these things, which
I do so many little inside jokes on other trainer stuff that I know about them, and I put it, and it's our joke, and we're sort of opening it up, but it's not like I don't expect everybody to comment on it. I don't expect you to comment on a comment.
You know what's weird to me is like I posted, it might have been the exact same curls video. One guy's like, "Oh, I see some swinging," and I was like, and I wrote him back, and he's like, "Bad form," and I said, you
wrote him back?
I said,
my wife would clobber me if I wrote anyone back.
No, but I said a little enthusiasm never hurt anybody. Because I'm like, of course there's a little momentum. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I was swinging with your parents last week. Bro. How about that?
So Libby's gonna call in.
Did you know this was happening?
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that.
I did. It's on your entire breakdown, and it says segment 2, call-ins.
There was a breakdown?
Do you understand why I don't subject you to the calls with these guys?
I do now.
Wait till the tequila comes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Luke, I'm very proud of you. I see you drinking out of your Yeti.
Yep.
I believe it was a gift I gave your wife for her birthday.
Yep.
And then you stole it.
Just like her heart, I stole this as well.
Do you have any anxiety with Jen being in your text messages?
No.
All right, quick break. Let's talk bags, you guys. Because if you're still dragging around the same old overstuffed backpack that ruins your gym aesthetic, well, you deserve better. Introducing the Easy Access Ranchero Backpack, which is the latest in Yeti's lineup of tough as nails bags. This thing was made for people that actually move with a rip-zip opening and that tears wide open so you can grab what you need. And fast. No more digging around looking for lost treasure. And here's the kicker. It's got a vertical zipper so you can grab the gear at the bottom of your bag without unpacking your entire life. Your protein shaker will thank you. Whether you're commuting, climbing, lifting, or just trying to survive a rainy Tuesday, guys, the Ranchero's tough skin nylon shell and smart internal layout keeps your laptop dry, your shoes separate, and your stuff organized, which as a Virgo, I'm obsessed with. Get in, get out, and get going. Check it out at Yeti.com or hit up a Yeti retail store near you. Okay, hi, Libby.
Hi.
So nice to meet you. Thanks for jumping in. You're sitting here with Gunnar and Lukey and I.
Hey, Lib, how are you, mate?
Hi. Great to meet you guys.
Likewise.
Thanks so much for taking my call.
Of course. Have any of us met you real time?
You should have heard the dead air before that thing rang.
Thank God you broke it.
Thought we were fishing somewhere.
Grandpa Peterson's getting a little pissy because we had a little tech difficulty coming from the guy that doesn't know how to turn off his television.
Oh, come
I
on.
don't know how to turn it on.
Yeah, not kidding. We were at his house last time. He was like, I don't know how to turn it off. He's like, that's my wife
I
knows
literally
how.
go like this, Zane, get in here. Hey, turn on the TV.
Well, good thing we're not answering tech questions. What's on your mind?
Not a techie over here.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, I'm a personal trainer as well, so I love that y'all are doing this, and I'm so excited to keep up with all of the different topics that y'all talk about. I actually have a few questions. So my first question that I would love to chat with you guys about is if you have a strategy behind balancing strength and cardio when it comes to women that are trying to be their strongest and leanest self. I train a lot of women, and some of them are afraid of weights. Most of them always want to do a ton of cardio. And so do you have a strategy behind how you train women when it comes to that?
Do you want me to just
You're the
kick it
expert,
off?
Jen,
Because
Jen.
I think the intimidation around weights conversation might never go away. But what I'd like to do is
So annoying.
It's only annoying until they get it themselves. Sometimes we just have to show them evidence of what's possible when they're doing it, and then you don't have to convince them anymore because they'll believe it themselves. But I do like to start with a middle ground of weight. So let's say you're working with this girl and you know she could have 50s in her hands and do deadlifts. Give her 25s and make her go slow. Like, I always bring in tempo to the conversation so they can feel the contrast in their body, the contrast against gravity, which will always make the weights feel heavier, but they'll feel more secure in the beginning with the lighter ones in their hands. And you can do that with anything. I don't care if it's a curl, I don't care if it's a lunge. Part of it is having an authority in their body, and I think just slowing them down not only helps them feel like all the corners of the movement, but they'll start to feel really connected to the dumbbells versus separate from them. And I think that's where, if they're kind of feeling worried with heavier weight, whether it's, psychological thinking, I don't want to get big, or I'm going to make myself look foolish in here, it just takes the mind away from where it needs to be, which is connected to the muscle. So that's A. And then B, there's a lot of interesting literature out there, especially now with female physiology, but I only do sprint training. I said people can do gentle walking as much as they want, try to go that 8 to 10K a day is the gold standard, but I'll do sprint training. So 12 to 25 seconds on a skier, on a bike, on a treadmill, doesn't matter, hard as they can absolutely go, and then give them 2 minutes rest. And that's the way their quote unquote cardio comes through sprint training.
Amazing. I love that.
Any other?
I love sprint training too. That sounds a lot more fun to me. I think that, Gunnar, I've heard on the podcast that you really like to make sure that everyone is enjoying the cardio that they choose. So, is that something that you like to stick with whenever you're training all of the women that you train? Do you like to make sure that they are enjoying the cardio that they do and kind of balance that out with weights and things like that? If they're doing steady state cardio, I'm probably not going to be there. I think very few people need the cardio babysitter. I just think that's I think that's a position of yesteryear, and that's gone.
Yeah.
I'm with Jen. I do, whether you call it HIIT or lit or whatever it is. I think the sprints, the intensity, little pops, and I did one today with a guy where I had him start on something and I had him go 5 seconds slow, 5 fast, 10 slow, 10 fast. So it was a 1-to-1 work rest ratio, but I had him escalated all the way up, and I think we went to 2 minutes, maybe went to 25 seconds, whatever it was. So maybe we were 2.5 minutes total as a finisher, or dessert as we call it. Mm-hmm. But it gave him the time to recover and the time to push. And at the end, he said, "God, I hate cardio." I'm like, well, technically, it's not really cardio because it wasn't in the time frame. You weren't, He probably wasn't tapped into oxidative, but he was definitely working on a repetitive motion for a longer period of time than he would have been with weights, right?
Yeah.
Even if you go back, if you know that guy Istan Javorek who did all those, you got to look him up. He does these great matrices and these. So he'll start with the deadlift, and you go 6 reps on the dead. Then you turn that into a bent over row. Then you turn that into a high pull. Then you turn that into a clean. Then you turn it into a snatch. So it's a complex. But he does dumbbell complexes, barbell complex, dumbbell complex stuff. He did a thing in Muscle and Fitness. I don't know how they got him years ago. And I think he's a PE teacher in Iowa now, but he's Hungarian, I think. Okay. I called him when I saw it in literally early 90s. And he just answers the phone Coach Javorek. And I was like, hey, dude, that's the question. But that kind of stuff creates such an aerobic demand on the body.
Regardless of male or female, I don't think either.
Correct,
doesn't matter.
because you're doing, because that whole complex can take, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Mate, and look, and Libby, I think right now it's Luke. I think this.
No, Luke, we know it's you.
My name's Luke Milton. I grew up in Sydney, Australia.
Definitely can tell it's you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this accent's getting worse, by the way. That's how I trick people into doing the cardio. But it's creating that environment where you're providing an experience, right? And it doesn't have to be segregated out into just cardio or just strength. And I think that so much of the industry, it's evolving for sure. But like Gunnar was talking about before, you can do strength training that actually stresses and builds your cardiovascular system, right? And it's you can do what we think of as strength training. Obviously I love interval training. I love high intensity interval training, and creating an experience in which they can use some resistance in combination with some of the more traditional sort of all-out cardiovascular machines. I think it's a good way to do it.
Do all your gyms, no matter what city they're in, they do the same programming?
Yeah, so every training mate across the country does the same program every single day. Obviously, every day is programmed differently, but every single day is a combination of resistance work and cardiovascular work.
Yeah.
I just think that, going back to what Gunnar was saying then, I just think we have to re-educate people on what strength training is and what cardiovascular training is.
You have to back it up farther than that. You have to go, what's the goal?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the goal? Like, some people are coming in there, they don't, maybe from a heart health standpoint, they need the cardiovascular work, but maybe from a body comp standpoint, I would argue that the vast majority of people that I come across, other than athletes, are looking for body comp changes. And
yeah, I agree. 100%.
Yeah, people don't want to say that. That's, it sounds narcissistic.
No, everyone I work
up.
with says I want to be stronger, but ultimately they really want to lose body fat.
They want to look. I mean, David Barton coined the phrase "look better naked." I think he trademarked it. It's a great phrase. I mean, in my opinion, that sums up a huge part of fitness devotees around the world.
Yeah, it's vanity. So wait, Libby, are you getting resistance from your clients, or where are you catching a headwind on this?
Well, I work with a lot of postpartum women and women who have gained a lot of weight that are trying to look better, but also what I try to stress with them is the functionality of life. They want to make sure that they can hold their kids. They want to look good in a swimsuit. We live at the beach, so we want to make sure that, not only do they look good, but they're able to do everything in their life.
I would argue that 90%. I would argue that 90% of them will pass their kid off to a nanny if they look great in a bathing suit.
That's not true.
But is there an argument? But are they not seeing the correlation between this kind of training and looking good in the bathing suit? I think that's the question.
I think that they're now starting to, once they start training with me. So what I kind of, at first, when we start training, I have to kind of walk through, okay, what is your goal here, like you said, but also I get some pushback on, heavier weights. They're afraid of heavy weights, and then they're like, oh, like we can get on the treadmill, or, we can, we can do some HIIT stuff, but I'm trying to explain to them more about one, we work on endurance, so we rest a little less and do those interval trainings. But I think that I just wanted to hear from y'all that, because I'm from the South too, what y'all's outlook on, combining both cardio and strength, because it's kind of hard for me to explain to them sometimes why we do those heavy weights when they're trying to.
I had a lady from an Italian publication 20 years ago argue with me about this, to the point where I got so fed up, and I go, I'll tell you what, come here, train with me for a month. If you don't change your diet calorie-wise at all, and you gain weight, I'll give you 10 grand. Yeah. She goes, but Gunnar, how can you say
I'll
this?
take that deal.
And I go, with total confidence.
By the way, I would have just been eating Cheetos behind your back. I would have.
Wait, did she do it?
What?
Did she do it?
No, she didn't do it. But because she didn't want to have to part with her bias.
But mate, to your point, and I've heard you say this a million times,
easy.
The weight alone's not going to hypertrophize you. It's you know what I mean? It's the calories in, it's the protein levels, everything. It's so much stuff.
Bodybuilding is bodybuilding, right? Hypertrophy is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Hypertrophy is not a training program.
Yeah.
And you can give me all the hypertrophy training programs that you can come up with. If you're not doing all the other things that go hand in glove with that, it's not going to happen, dude.
Yeah. And Libby, for yourself, some of the challenges you're facing too, there's so many hormonal imbalances if you're saying the majority of these girls are postpartum or whatever. And there's just so much around that. And Jen's laughing at me because she's actually the expert on this and has taught me about this. But it is. It's but there is so much going on there. I think that consistency is one of those things where you can rest your head easy on your pillow at night by, if you can keep these girls or the majority of your clients consistent with their exercise, it's not irrelevant, but it's almost less relevant what exercises you're doing more than the consistency, that human connection, making sure that they're moving their body and making sure that they're feeling more valued than just being a new mum or just being something else, and they're getting a bit of time for themselves with
By the way,
I think it's really
they
important.
are better moms
Absolutely.
if they're exercising.
Absolutely.
Period.
Well,
Totally. And that's what I think that when I have 8 times out of 10, it's more of a relief when they come to me, because 1, they're away from their kid just for a little bit, just for time for themselves. But 2, they're doing more than they were doing 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So already their body is changing, and then I just get to add to it, and then the relationship and the energy that they bring and everything that I give to them, I guess, is also just a contribution to it. But there's so much that goes into it, but the consistency, you're right, is a huge deal for them and for their bodies.
Well, and that's why I was smiling when Nick, I was smiling when Luke was talking. Sorry, I saw the girls bring the tequila out and I got distracted for a second. No, but I smile because I love when men care about what's happening with women's bodies, but I think a lot of women get hooked up on the details that matter. If you're consistent, your body will respond. But the other thing I'll say too, because part of what I'm hearing in you, Libby, is sometimes like you almost as a trainer want to check like, am I doing this right? And I'm gonna gas up Gunnar. We were at Summer Strong 2 years ago, and somebody was presenting all kinds of stuff it was a unique perspective on like tension and loading and everything like this. And I looked at Gunnar and I'm like, I don't know, man. I just do lunges. I use tempo. I use intervals. I keep them happy. I keep them consistent. Am I fucking nuts? Or is this guy overcomplicating everything? And Gunnar he instilled in me what I needed to hear is like, you're doing it right.
100%.
Keep doing it over again. And sometimes you need that gut check from a peer to be like, no, you have the right answers. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. Keep creating that amazing ecosystem that you're making for them, Libby, getting them to come back, time for themselves. It's fun. It's kind of reshaping their identity again. And then like, they're in there,
And segue to a conversation that preceded your call, Libby. If they're not digging it and they're not digging you, you might not just be for them, and that's okay. There are 8 billion people in the world. Relax. Like there are enough people that will come and groove to your thing. That if the ones who aren't doing it, like you don't have to sell it. You don't have to force feed it. If they don't get it, they don't get it. They'll come back when they realize whatever they finally embrace isn't serving them, or when they read somewhere and they're in a more malleable mindset, okay, maybe that does work, then they'll come back and try it again. But don't push it. If they don't buy it, then no problem. Good luck with Pilates, ladies. Like,
And Lib, you have such a sweet energy about you, Lib. Like, just even listening to your voice over this, and like, I can even just hear how much you care about people, and the fact that you called in. Keep doing you, mate.
That's going to be your downfall.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ignore Gunnar. Listen to what Luke said. We're so grateful you called in,
That's going to harpoon your whole gig.
Thank you so much.
You're the best girl.
I love it. I can't wait to listen back again. I appreciate your time, guys.
Us too.
love you,
Thanks,
mate.
doll.
Thanks, Lib.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
If you're a trainer looking to level up, grow your business, and actually connect with your clients, Train Heroic is the game changer that you need. I used it for years, and it was the first tech my clients actually enjoyed using. They showed up, logged the work, and I could coach them through every rep. Trusted by top coaches since 2012, plans start at just $10 a month. And you get your first 14 days for free. So head to trainheroic.com/the kids table to start your free trial now.
What's in? Are these tequilas?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Cheers, bitches.
Yeah, cheers, bud.
I got a little treat for you. This might be the worst piece of fitness education. Dare we call education?
It was really kind of good, but interesting. Yeah, it's weird.
It is weird. I'd say it's the first time we've ever had this electroacupuncture using the motor and the trigger points.
Is that his leg twitching, right?
I hope so.
Why is the towel moving?
This helps to flush out the acid in the muscle, increase
By the way,
circulation,
it's
and
true.
help with anything
This
from
isn't a gag.
scar tissue,
This is not a gag.
blood,
I sent this
and, again,
thinking it was a
acid
joke.
out of the muscle, loosening up tightness and stimulating the body to heal any type of injury.
I'm super uncomfortable
Okay, do
right
we
now.
need to just pause
I
in a
can't
second?
even. I can't get to the
Let's cut
physiological.
You guys
point
don't. You
because
guys
of
don't
this.
want to finish it. You guys.
You can.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
Dude,
At
either
least-
one of them address the towel is
They
my
mu-
question.
I just, his hands are going all over the place. I don't know.
Here's my thing. I think I sent this, Gunnar. I think I put this in your inbox a few weeks ago, and like you called me. That's why I had to like surprise you. But like this guy, this was a legitimate education video.
But
Come
it's
on.
an
Does this guy
EMS
have a
thing,
degree?
right? It's electronic muscular stimulation. I did that
Yeah.
shit 30 years ago. But the difference is nobody had a towel over my
No,
jaw.
yeah, and I don't want to, I don't want to break down the acupuncture part or the EMS part of it. It's more
That's
just
not
the visual. Looking at it, I'm like,
If there was audio, I didn't hear it. I can tell you that.
Yeah, we can cut the sound and just let the video play because I think that's
No, my
what's-
point is,
that's
if there's audio, it's drowned out by the towel.
Yeah, the towel is so loud.
The towel is.
Gunnar also
I know.
hasn't blinked in
It's the
45
talking
seconds.
towel. What did he say?
I said, you haven't blinked in 45 seconds.
No, I haven't.
Toothpicks in his eyes.
I usually reserve the word riveting for cinema.
Hold
Here's
on.
what I don't get. I just
Listen to
don't
this.
get why they're not.
Why do they have to shoot it from that angle?
What the angle? But like no one like. Okay, Gunnar. If he just said like somebody jokingly addressed it, they just addressed the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
I could get to the audio. Like Aaron's asked me twice. Did you listen to the audio?
My
no.
shredded friend with the inflamed psoas, who also has a towel over his, somebody just put it out there.
We need to listen to the audio. Hold on.
Okay, wait, Aaron. Like Aaron's. We're gonna
I
trust
do
you.
feel passionate about this because of his response.
He's pretty jacked, though.
Luke, you're a sweetie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels really, kind of good, but interesting. Yeah.
Kind of good, but interesting.
Well, I think that's someone that's getting a hand job that doesn't really like it.
The question is, how did we? What I need is a prequel. How did we get here? Did he walk in and say, "Strip down, put this towel over your hog, and I'll be back in 5 minutes"? Or did he say?
Who calls it a hog?
Or did he say, "Relax, I'll take it from here"? Or did the guy say, "Hey, I want to do the EMS, but I'm only comfortable like this"?
Okay.
Do you have a hand towel? Like at some point, they arrived at this point.
It was like, have you ever heard that joke? It was like you walk in for a prostate exam and the doctor says, "Oh, just take your pants off and put them over there." And you go, "Wait, where?" And he goes, "Over there next to mine."
Yes.
like that's what this is.
We have 4 men in the room. Show our hands. If I addressed, if I'm on a date and I address a man's penis as a hog, how's that going to work out for me?
Well, it depends if it's a hog or not.
Well, that's how I'm finding out. So only call it a hog if it's a hog.
Correct.
Dating advice from Gunnar Peterson. Thanks.
2 plates on the left and 4 plates on the right. And she's only filming the right.
That's
One
actually
has more
hilarious. I'll give a 10 out of 10 for creativity on that one. She's just filming the big one on the side.
Yes. Here's what I also want to point out. Can you pause it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not
That's
for
hilarious.
nothing. She still has 6
Yeah,
plates
it's pretty
on.
legit. Yeah. I think that's a great trick. I might steal that trick, actually. You wait till you see my
270
next post.
pounds.
My next post
You
tomorrow.
need this kind of footage.
Yeah, I might walk with a limp, but
You were a professional athlete a while ago. We gotta
long
get
while ago, yeah.
get it going. What do you think?
I'm lost. What is that? What am I watching?
So there's a gal on a
Yeah, I
a
see.
hack rack.
No,
right?
it's a leg press. Hack squat should be the other way around, but we'll get back to that.
Oh, whoops. See, this is why you're the guy. Leg press.
I mean, you made her drink.
Yeah. He always forces me to drink. It's
Yeah,
so
that's my
frustrating.
thing. So what? She's just filming her from the knee down.
no, just the right side. So she's
there's
loaded
more
up just the
plates on
plates.
this. So
There's
she-
5 plates on the right.
I see
But
what
the
you're
angle of the
saying. I see
camera
what
is
you're
just doing that. I think she's a
But at the
genius.
end of the day, it's still a lot of weight. But she's only doing partials too. Watch how far that goes down.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know. She's breaking 90.
Were you the guy that commented on my Lululemon? Were you the guy that commented on my running form?
If I had scrolled and seen this,
Dude, she's breaking 90.
if I had scrolled and seen this,
Pretty
I wouldn't
narrow
comment.
sense.
But when you're sticking it in my face, I'm going to speak up.
was that the last video or this one?
So Luke thinks she's a genius. Oh. Luke thinks she's a genius. Gunnar
that's
says
great.
no. I'm split. I still
Why are we back
honestly,
to that?
I think it was 6 plates. Is there one more? Is there one worth? Is it worth it? Yeah.
I don't remember what it is.
If
so.
this
That's the
is
beauty of
going to
this.
devolve or evolve into
Oh, I like this one. Okay, this one's a slow burn. So they're doing like med ball passing.
somebody's not going to be up in
Right,
time, right?
so-
we see this coming.
Gunnar, we know Gunnar's done this for 40 years. He always knows
I
what's
don't
going to
know. I've
happen.
never done this. Trust.
But I got to tell you, I like. Of course, but listen. Those Dynamax balls are built for that.
Yeah, but her Dynamax neck was not built for that.
Yeah, old concussion.
I do like that. That's like,
Oh, she got smoked there.
yeah, but
She really did.
that's the way you train. You make people like react. I kind of like what they're going for. What I'd like to see is less of this shit on the internet. Like people, I think, are intentionally making bad videos.
I've actually got no problem with that ball one because I think that's quite entertaining. It's kind of like a blooper and it is what it
Do you
is.
think that? So you think that was an accidental blooper?
Yeah, I mean, well, I hope so. I hope
thought it
a
was
guy
on
wouldn't
purpose.
throw a medicine ball at someone's head.
I think they were
it's
doing it
just-
and they got it. But they should, I think what the intention probably was cut before the error and then post it as a thing. Like post it as a viable exercise that worked out for them and they were training hard and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It just, it went to it devolved to where they couldn't keep up with the thing.
I don't have a problem with that because no one's looking at that being like, hey, I'm going to go and throw a ball at someone's head and that's what my training mechanism is going to be. The one before that was misleading, right? So if you angle your photo, and I joke around saying she's a genius, maybe genius or a fraud, but if you look at that and then as nature, as human beings, if we compare ourselves to other people, then I think you're doing harm. Because if someone jumps on there and says, oh, hey, like I'm going to compare myself to you and I can do 2 plates and you can do 6 plates, well, we don't really have any validation of what you're doing there. So I don't have a problem with getting hit in the head with a ball, pardon the pun, insert joke here.
Careful.
But I do have a little bit of an issue with someone that fraudulently puts something up to compare.
It's a good conversation. I think that's where we're starting to spiral. We become entertainers versus educators. I don't want to get into that comparison space.
That's funny you said that. We started, Colin and I, my other trainer, Colin Shane at the gym, we started trying to find a way because I said some of the fitness content is so dry.
Yeah.
Here's what I tried to find a middle ground. Some of the content is so dry. You're like, I can't watch someone do a leg extension
Oh, I see what
anymore.
you're saying.
And then some of it is cartoonish, caricatured. Like I can't watch it. So we've tried to combine at the gym something we do in our gym that we think is a differentiator and why we do it, combined with what we find to be a humorous, anecdotal. Colin hates to be called Little Buddy. It triggers him.
Yeah, but that little when he took a hammer and got into his truck for the holidays for December, it was funny as shit.
So we do those because I can find a way to build it in, and sometimes I'll do it. He's telling me a story, and I'll go, "Wow, that's a great story, Little Buddy," and he goes crazy. Yeah. So now we've built anything, but I think we're trying to find a roads, and I'm sure there's as many people think it's stupid as like it. We're trying to find the nexus of something funny with something educational. Here's how we stretch people. Here's how we spray down the equipment. Here's how we choose what's on the TVs. Here's how we choose the music. Here's how we program. Here are things we use, integral parts of our programming. And you put that with something comedic, right? It's like, remember they did that study years ago when rap music was coming out. They had kids learn history with putting it in rap lyrics, right? And it proved to be an easier way for kids to remember the factual points of history if you put it in song.
I think you're talking about the Broadway play Hamilton. I mean, it's like literally.
I'm going way before. I'm going back to actually when Hamilton was in office. Like that's how far back I'm going.
Here's the question, and here's the line, because who does this really well is Jordan Syatt, and he told me, he goes, you have to be at this point. Because I was fighting him. I'm like, I'm absolutely not going to be dancing and pointing at messages on the screen. He's like, you have to be entertaining, Jen, if you want to engage your audience. And if you can...
So we're on track then.
Exactly. So if you want to engage them, then you can educate. And when he set that up that way for me, I'm like, okay, but what are the bearings? And
but the problem as we've encountered it, I'm a big post and ghost guy, right? I got that from Bert Soren, Joe Rogan. Posting goes, I don't go to the comments, I don't look, I just can't, because I don't want to have to engage and I don't want to feel like I'm not engaging on purpose, so I just don't look. And that's just my way of handling it. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. But you remember when you get to entertainment, it's way more subjective, which means everybody feels like they have the right to comment and critique and give it a review. If you're posting content, Jordan Side, that guy's stuff, which I love. And then he's telling you to do that. If you can't get a handle on the entertainment part of it, you're going to end up watering down or completely diluting the educational part of it.
Yep.
Right?
Well, it's a fine line, right? It's really hard. It's really hard to entertain people and to get people back on that if you don't have credibility to start. And I think that you
can also shoot your credibility in the foot if you try to entertain too hard. And that's correct. That's the line we're walking. Yep. And Colin goes, I don't know if people like that. I go, I'm gonna fuck them. How about let's just do it because we're having fun with it. And
do you have that approach with absolutely everyone you train?
I'm pretty specific about what I say, and I think reading the room is a lost art.
Yeah, I agree.
And I try to make sure I do it well. I'm not saying I do, but I'm saying I'm very conscious of it. I think I'll say, oh no, I won't say that. Not with him, not with her. I made a joke today about something, and I'll tell you off camera. And I said it to one of Colin's clients, and I knew which way the wind blew, and I went the other way, and I saw Colin crack up, and she turned at me, and it was like I was right in the crosshairs, and she went, and I went, noted.
Yeah.
But I knew I did it, but it wasn't egregious. It wasn't bad thing, but I did it anyway.
But do you think that that's a good way of actually breaking down those walls of intimidation? Do you think sometimes the industry in which we're in takes itself too seriously? Like I try and say, I don't take myself too seriously, but I take what I do seriously.
You're walking around in a pink Speedo.
Yeah.
But case in point, right?
But you were a former pro athlete, so I feel like we got to give you that. Like, rock it. Why not? And you stay in shape, and you follow all the necessary protocols to remain in shape and to have a balanced life, whether it's workout, have a drink, raise a kid, whatever. So I give you that latitude.
Yeah, but that's one of Luke's best kept secrets. He walks around like this, like big silly blonde, and you're one of the smartest, most sensitive and interesting people that I've ever met.
Wow, you need to get out
You
more.
want to be on the...
Jen was homeschooled. Two
You're
people.
my only friend.
Who I can't remember
Carrie's
his
like,
name.
She's not staying here, Luke. Get her to go to hotel, whatever, Magic 8 Hotel, whatever it's called, Hotel 8.
No, look, I appreciate the compliment, but
No, but you really are.
I think that the point is, no, but I think that we all three of us do a similar thing in a different way.
Yeah.
I really do, because it can be this industry. I'm not even talking about the individual right now. The industry can be quite intimidating. So what mechanism can we use to break down that wall of intimidation that gets those people that come into common ground?
Levity.
That's what we're doing. Like, that's the entire point of this podcast. I mean, we haven't even started to talk about it yet, but the whole reason we're here is because this is it. I think there are so many conversations from wellness people on their own, speaking at the top of their soapbox, saying this is what you should do and shouldn't do. And the three of us are like, well, no, you can just do it all. Like, just like cut the shit, have a good time. And there's a lot to learn, and there's so much resource here, but it should be fun.
Make sure you tune in to the next episode of our podcast, guys. Follow us on all the social channels, and above all, stay healthy.
And subscribe to the podcast.
We are encouraging you to send in questions in video format because we want to feel like you're here and judge you. Sorry.
I was like, that was unusually kind, and there he is.